Alright guys, we're going to get into this hive here. It's got a queen cell in it. It's a new package. I want to take a look at it and see what's going on. This hive, the brood pattern was great in it. She's laying great. Not sure why they got that cell going. I mean, I know some species of bees like to keep a cell going, but this one was about 3/4 of a peanut, so I'm going to check it out and go from there. First off, I hit it full of smoke in the front. You want to just be easy. Just nice, smooth, steady motions. And I think it's set up good enough. I'll just start going through it here and check it out. Guys, you don't want to be clanging stuff against the other hives or anything. Crack it just a touch, a little smoke. Let's let them get a pull on that for a minute. I got my hive top loosened up. I'm going to try to pull it off without spilling it everywhere. Alright guys, you can see they've filled even more out now. It's looking like it. Let me check it out. Get my empties out of the way. Give me plenty of room here. You can tell, look at them drawing that out. Pretty cool, ain't it? Set this down right here. I'm just kind of glancing at the side of this frame here. I think the queen cell's on this one. So what I'm trying to do right now is, I can see this is full of honey. Got a pile of bees in here, so I'm just going to hit them with a little smoke, move them. Try it. Then I'll just slide it out of my way. Now I'm looking at this backside, just making sure the queen lady's not on it. I'm just looking right here at this frame. Don't see her on there. And I'm not seeing any brood, so. And guys, I'll state all the time, I'm no professional. I'm not no commercial beekeeper. I'm a part-time hobbyist. I'm careful. Well, a commercial beekeeper does not have time to screw around like what I am. I'm learning, so as I learn, I'm choosing to make videos to help people with questions, similar questions as to what I have. You know, I did a lot of studies, but you can't learn everything. Excuse me. So that frame's got some brood on it. It's pretty active, loaded with bees. So I'm just going to pull it and check to see if she's on it. I'm thinking she's probably on this one. I like these tongs here. They work nice, and then they got the screwdriver for grabbing heavy frames. Alright, so you can see the brood pattern is killer. I'm not seeing the queen lady on there. Let's look underneath. And on the back side. You notice these drone comb right there. They look like 22 shells sticking out of the frame. If you want to see what the mite action's doing, you can pull that brood out of there with your hive tool and check for mites on the brood. That's a good indicator on your mite situation. Thinking she might be on this one, maybe. Guys, this frame here is absolutely loaded with pollen, and it's got some brood on the outside there. Don't see her on that. And that frame is chock full of brood. Beautiful brood pattern. Front and back. Don't see her on there. And when you're setting your frames back in, try not to rake the bees off the end and crush them. There's the queen on the end right there. Not sure if you can see her. I can't zoom the camera solo, but she's walking around right there. So now carefully set this back in, And before I slide it tight, I'll make sure that she's not on the rails there. I'm pretty sure this is the one that had that queen cell in it, but let's double check. I'm thinking it was on this frame, one of these two. There it is. I'm gonna get the frame stand and we're gonna check it out. Oh man. Alright, I'm just going to mark it, thinking it was on this end. I'll put a QC. Alright guys, here's the stand here. Let's pull it. I guess I grabbed the wrong frame. Here it is. There's a queen. Alright. So the queen has made it to the frame with the queen cell on it. And she is right around the queen cell. Pull this out. I don't want to get her too far away from the hive just yet. Let's set it back in there. Tell you what, we'll pull these two out. Got a full honey frame there. Alright guys, I'm not seeing her on here, so I'm gonna hang it up and we're gonna check out that cell. I don't want to pull the queen too far out of the hive. I'm afraid she might haul tail. Alright guys, there's that cell. Get the big close-up on it. Yeah, I'm gonna yank that thing out of there because she's laying too good to let any stuff like that happen, so I'm gonna pull that out of there. Of course, bee dogs getting excited. All right. Sure if you can pull it out of there and maybe I don't know if it's just a preparation type of deal or what, but as good as she's laying, I don't want them swarming. But that's cool. Check out how they form that. Very cool. I don't see any, obviously any larvae or anything in there yet. Cool stuff. I'm going to go on and tighten the hive up. They're getting a little active. I'll go on and tighten it up and leave them alone. I'll go on and tighten it up now. I'll set this cell to the side just to kind of have as a memento. I had turned that frame, the rest of the ones go directly in, as is. I like to try to keep the frames the same way in and out. Guys, now I'll just tighten all the frames up to keep your bee space correct. If you leave any gap in these frames, especially, and I'll show you right here, especially when they first start drawing them out. Let me move the camera. Let's see if I can see it. You can see on that third frame that the plane of the honey is breaking the plane of the frame. It must have been just a little bit of a gap in there when the frames were installed. You want to try to avoid that, keep the frames tight. If these frame edges aren't touching one another as they're drawing them out, they'll pull it out there that far, and then if you don't put this frame back in place next to that one and you go to tighten it, you'll crush bees. But as they're drawing it out, you want to make it, it's imperative that you keep your bee frames touching your rails, your frame rails. Because if not, like I said, they'll draw it out beyond. Keep them tight, it keeps their space all even. Now, what I've heard what you can do to manipulate honey is after they've drawn the comb, you can actually gap them out. Once the frames are drawn out, you can gap them a little bit, get all these even, and then they'll draw honey foundation out a little beyond the plane, and that gives you extra honey. I've heard that's a way to manipulate the honey. But anyway, let me finish up here. So right now I'm just looking at the frame edges, making sure there's no bees I'm going to smush. And I'll get it tight. Same here, because if that queen's on that frame rail and you tighten it up, there goes you minimum 30 bucks, probably 20, 30 minimum. And a hassle, especially when you got a queen laying like she is. So some folks, like if like when they, if you're adding frames tight into the hive, you can slide the end of the frame bar here. Let's see what's in the camera here. Okay. You can slide your bar down against the frame that's currently in the hive, and that'll kind of smear the bees off. Like so. Like right here. Like this. Alright. Put the feeder on, get it tightened up, and we're done. Alright guys, we're just about done. See if you can see what's wrong there. Got too much of a gap on this end. You want to try to keep everything even, or the bees will make a mess. So all my frames are tight. I'm not worried about crushing anything, and since I'm holding the camera with one hand, I'm just going to manipulate it over like so, just gently. Now it should be even on both ends. It's just a hair off. Let me adjust it. Alright, now she's right. And now you can close her up. And then when you come back, hopefully they won't have burred everything together and make a big mess. Alright guys, they burred the center up, so I cleaned it out. And I'm doing good, so I'm going to put the little cover on. center it all up. See that gap there? It's an upper entrance hole. I don't want other bees coming in this hive robbing the feeder out, so I'll keep that hole closed off. You just pull your top tight to here. Put your top on, pull it tight. And that alleviates that issue. If you wanted to have an upper entrance, of course, you'd push the top that way, and then they could get out and come in as they need to that way. But with this feeder on, I'm going to keep them off there, or keep them out of there.